Dear listeners, this is third chapter of the book Power of One Thought. Chapter is titled as Shape Your Life One Thought at a Time. You walk into a showroom to buy a smartphone and say to the saleswoman, "All I am looking for is a simple phone only for calls and messages." She shows you a new model and you instantly like it. She starts demonstrating how to use it. But you stop her and say, "That is all right. I will figure it out eventually. Just pack it." You are happy about the purchase. All is well until a month later when the phone freezes and you have no idea what to do. You panic and rush to the showroom where you give that saleswoman an earful. She inspects the phone, restarts it, and then it works like a charm. You wish you had learnt a thing or two about it, especially when she had offered to teach. That would have saved your energy and time. This applies to how some of us live. When life is going smoothly, we do not pay attention to the several aspects working in our favor. But one day, something goes wrong, it is a different story altogether. We struggle to deal with that obstacle, failure, or setback. We start panicking and remain clueless about the solution. We go to the other people for help and support. In this book, we are trying to analyze why is the way it is. Making inroads into the world behind our eyebrows, we are now aware that our inner world of beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, and karmas are connected to our outer world of achievements, possessions, roles, and relationships. The inside story. There is an extremely subtle and invisible mechanism within each of us that guides us to think, feel, speak, behave, and respond in certain ways. These inner workings are responsible for how our lives pan out, our past, present, and future. They determine what happens to us at every moment. Our life follows a very powerful and constant internal process flow which goes like this. At every moment, our mind is creating thoughts. A series of thoughts give rise to a feeling. All our feelings about a person, situation over a period of time develop our attitude towards them. As is our attitude, so will be our action in the form of our words and behaviors. Any action done repeatedly becomes our habit or sanskar. All our sanskars put together shape our personality. As this personality goes out into the world and deals with everyday life, at every step we are creating our destiny. Starting with our thoughts, notice how all the elements listed, that is, thoughts, feelings, attitude, action, habit, or sanskar, personality, destiny, are connected all the way to our destiny. Working in the tandem, each stage has a cascading effect that creates a flow. It all begins with a thought. Thoughts, feelings, attitude, action, habit, personality, destiny. I am the creator of my thoughts. I choose them, I create them. We need to keep reminding ourselves of this time and time again. We need to embed this truth so deep into our awareness that we practically experience the thought creation process in every scene of life. In response to the same situations, different people create different thoughts. The situation does not create our thoughts. We create our thoughts in response to the stimulus or the situation. Suppose a family member needs financial help and you lend her money. You have different choices of what to think while helping her. One option is to think, just because I am wealthy, everyone wants me to help her. This thought is not a good one. Instead, you can create a better thought, such as, I am happy to be of help. My blessings are always with her. I am certain she will overcome her problems and reach her goal. Can you see the difference? In the first case, the situation overpowers your state of mind and, as a consequence, influences your thoughts and feelings. In the second case, your mind becomes more powerful than the situation. In either case, however, you are the creator of the thought, not the situation. Applying this powerful realization transforms us from victims to masters of our circumstances and lives. We are not called human doings, although we are constantly engaged in doing one thing after another for an entire lifetime. We are called human beings because we are a being who influences the doing. We are not a doing who influences the being. Every morning, we mentally organize our thoughts by asking ourselves, what should I do today? Now we just need to add another dimension to this. How should I be? Let's start creating thoughts of how we will be while doing any activity. While we get ready for office, when we in traffic, while we work on projects or chair a team meeting, when we return home and spend time with our family. For instance, if you have a meeting to chair, think and visualize how you are going to be in the meeting while executing your list of things to do. I remain calm. I listen patiently. I state my views respectfully. I stand for what is right. I empower others to think right. Thoughts triggers feelings. Thoughts are our creations. A series of thoughts give rise to our feelings or emotions. Happiness is a feeling, peace is a feeling, love is a feeling. These are feelings we experience because of the thoughts we create. We succeed at times, fail at other times. People obey us at times, disobey us at other times. We receive compliments at times, criticism at other times. We are healthy at times, we feel aches or pains at other times. That is certain. When we do not focus on our inner world, how we feel becomes dependent on our outer circumstances, and hence our feelings start to fluctuate. If a situation is favorable, we feel great. Otherwise, we become overwhelmed by pain, anxiety, irritation, anger, or fear. We are often aware of our feelings but not of our thoughts. Sometimes we want to change how we feel but are unable to do so because feelings are created as an outcome of thoughts. All we need to do is reflect on the kind of thoughts we have been creating and change those thoughts. It is impossible to change our feelings without changing our thoughts. Consider two examples to understand how feelings are connected to thoughts. Create a thought. Let me eat my favorite chocolate. Notice how this thought makes you feel pleased, assuming you like chocolates. When unwrapping the chocolate bar, suppose you think it is generous of my friend to give me a whole box of chocolates. This thought makes you feel grateful and cared for. As you eat it, suppose you create a thought, delicious, it has just the right amount of cocoa. This thought triggers happiness and satisfaction. Next, if you think, let me hide it, I do not want anyone else to eat them, you will experience uncomfortable feelings of greed and insecurity. Recall an argument you had with a friend. Now create a thought. She was wrong and she was too egoistic to admit her mistake. You feel angry and upset. Then, if you think, I did the right thing by proving her wrong, now everyone knows I am innocent. These thoughts make you feel delighted and satisfied. If you continue thinking, but I did not like how it ended, a friendship of 2 years ended bitterly. Maybe I was rude? You can see how these thoughts make you feel unhappy and guilty. In both scenarios, examine how your different thoughts generate different feelings and emotions. Can distractions help you heal? You might ask, when I can simply distract my mind to cope with negative and uncomfortable feeling, why should I make the effort to change my thoughts? Let's use an example to understand why this will not work. A person headed to a movie theater slips and falls, hurting his knee. The wound obviously hurts, but he thinks, I am already late to the theater. I am sure the movie will divert my mind from this pain. Sure, enough. This his attention is distracted for the next 3 hours. After the movie ends, he senses pain again. He thinks, wow, I had forgotten about this wound. Let me spend some time with friends, I will feel better. The wounded knee occasionally bothers him, but he continues to ignore it. By end of the day, while walking home, he finds the pain too sharp to bear. He examines the injury and finds a significant increase in swelling and redness. He regrets not attending to it earlier. Many of us deal with emotional wounds in a similar way. By the end of the day, sometimes there is a lot on our mind thoughts and feelings of stress, fatigue, anger, dissatisfaction, anxiety, and so on. But instead of healing them, we prefer to run away from our mind's negative inner chatter. We distract the mind so that somehow we start feeling better. Today, we have so many distractions at our disposal that we easily shift from one to the next. We seek relief and relaxation mostly throughout the phone, television, parties, shopping, books, holidays, substances, addiction, and so on. This is a good juncture for self reflection. When did you last sit with yourself for 15 minutes doing nothing? Are you comfortable in your own thought, own company without the need to reach for your phone, the TV remote control, or a book? When you are alone, do you feel lonely? Being with yourself means being comfortable with the thoughts and feelings in your mind. When you are feeling relaxed, calm, and peaceful, you will easily be able to sit with yourself. In those moments, you can be alone but never lonely because you will enjoy being in the company of your clean mind and pure vibrations. Oftentimes, we uplift a close friend's mood and they lift ours. Now, we need to do that with ourselves because our goal is to achieve emotional independence. Self counseling is a valuable skill to master, and these are simple steps to do it. Step 1: write your thoughts about the issue on your mind. Step 2: answer those thoughts as if you were consoling someone else with patience, love, and empathy. Step 3: you may have to repeat this a few times because at times the mind keeps going back and forth and needs time to heal. Distractions do not heal, even time does not heal. It is we who create our emotional wounds, so it is we who need to heal them. An emotional wound is caused by wrong thoughts. It can be healed with the right thought. For instance, I am good for nothing is a thought that hurts. I am a powerful soul that can do anything I decide to is a thought that heals. Feelings develop your attitude. Do you see a glass of half full or half empty? This question can be a good starting point for an attitude check. Attitude means everything, is a popular saying for a reason. If there is one aspect of our personality which instantly reflects in all our relationships, friendships, work, or health, it is our attitude. Attitude is a mental filter through which we perceive and experience the world. It is developed based on how we feel about ourselves, other people, objects, events, and situations in life. Our attitude is created by our feelings, which in turn are created by our thoughts. So, our attitude does not just come to us, it is our creation and it affects every dimension of our life. People are who they are, and situations are how they should be. Feeling a certain way for the same people and situations over a period of time develops our attitude towards them. So, our attitude decides whether we accept, reject, respect, or disrespect people and situations. There is a wide spectrum of healthy and unhealthy attitudes that all of us carry: friendly, arrogant, pleasant, indifferent, grateful, selfish, and so on. Consider these examples. I am certain that the team will perform well under him. Optimistic attitude. When you become fearless, life becomes limitless. Fearless, ambitious attitude. My door is open to anyone who needs help. Caring and kind attitude. I cannot stand people who behave like they are always right. Dismissive attitude. That is just how I am. You take it or leave it. Arrogant attitude. I ordered chocolate flavor but they served vanilla. I ate without making a fuss. Easygoing attitude. Our attitude impacts the quality of our life way more deeply than we realize. A positive, healthy attitude boosts our character and energy. It acts as a magnet to attract more success and well being into our life. Even in the face of a failure or setback, a positive attitude enables us to learn, see possibilities and solutions, and bounce back. It motivates us to reaffirm that every situation is accurate and beneficial. It becomes a tool to overcome obstacles and accomplish our goals. It also equips us to evolve into a stronger individual. In contrast, having a negative attitude makes us perceive everything with pessimism. that if something can go wrong in life, it certainly will. We tend to focus on what is not right in people, situations, or events and overlook the good. Instead of spotting possibilities, we spot limitations. We often feel annoyed, become disrespectful, and hostile towards people and situations. Every challenge becomes a stumbling block, and at times we tend to give up on ourselves and others. Unhealthy attitude blocks our peace, happiness, love, and blessings. As an inevitable result, we attract more pain and misery. Attitude determines your action. Our behavior at times seems too complex to predict, understand, or explain. However, attitude is a key predictor of actions or behavior. It is proven to have a strong bearing on what we say or do. In other words, our actions are an outward or a visible expression of our attitude. It is our attitude which comes out as the words we speak, the actions we take, the way we conduct ourselves, and the behaviors we exhibit. The stronger our attitude, the more likely that it affects our actions, behavior, or response to people, objects, events, and situations. For instance, consider someone who has a healthy attitude towards his career. This attitude makes him proactive, efficient, and sincere at work. It reflects in his behavior with co-workers. He understands, cooperates, shares, and cares. His impeccable work ethic inspires others to give their best. On the contrary, an employee who carries an unhealthy attitude will eventually display inefficiency, indifference, and discontentment. His negative attitude leads to behavioral issues like arrogance, carelessness, and manipulation. He eventually becomes a liability to the organization. Repeated actions form your habits or sanskars. Any action done repeatedly becomes a sanskar. A sanskar is similar to a habit. Habits refer to physical activities while sanskar refer to emotional patterns. For instance, eating, walking, and sleeping are habits. Caring, accepting, and complaining are sanskars. Suppose you get a new job and you reach office on time every day. Within a few days, punctuality becomes your sanskar. But for over a month, you notice that most of your colleagues arrive almost 30 minutes late. This sets you thinking. No one appreciates and no one even knows that I come on time daily. So there is no point abiding by office timing. Why should I alone be punctual? Let me also start coming late. You feel uncomfortable about making this choice, but nevertheless stick to it. Within a few days, coming late becomes your sanskar, overriding your previous sanskar of punctuality. Reflect on how your thoughts eventually give rise to sanskars. Changing a sanskar is just one thought away. It is also important to note that our sanskars often change for the better too. Someone who is a habitual latecomer might start valuing her and other people's time. She therefore creates a sanskar of punctuality. Sanskars define your personality. Which three words best describe you? Tell us something about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Have you been asked such questions, especially during an interview? Sometimes we find it challenging as we may not even know the answer. This is because many of us have not made the effort to know or understand ourselves. Take this moment to introspect. What is my personality? What personality would I like to have? All our sanskar and habits combined together shape our personality. Personality is inside of us. It is a cumulative result of our thoughts, feelings, memories, attitudes, actions, and habits. All of us like perfection, as that is our original nature. We tend to focus on perfection in what we do and in how we look. There's a lot of focus today on cosmetic enhancements to create a perfect face. Let's also focus on perfection in the aspect that matter most: intentions, thoughts, feelings, behaviors, vibrations. Having an imperfect mind but trying to create a perfect face will not give us the perfection we desire. Someone who undergoes cosmetic treatment to enhance her smile may not necessarily be happy within. What energy will she radiate? When we are the same on the inside and on the outside, which means when our words and behaviors are aligned with our feelings, then our energies are in harmony. We thereby radiate purity and simplicity. Personality implies the person, who we are, or what our characteristics are. Sanskars, which means personality traits, serve as the building blocks of personality. Personality is like a whole package made of different sanskars. For instance, we could say, I am resilient, I am optimistic, I am loyal, I am humble, I am arrogant, I am creative. Each one of these characteristics make up our underlying personality traits or sanskars. They come together to shape who we are as a person. There can also be negative shades to a personality, such as domination, manipulation, stubbornness, immaturity, or intolerance. Personality is also subject to a change because our sanskars keep changing from time to time. So, regardless of how it is now, our personality can be groomed and evolved. A good example is of students whose personalities get deeply influenced during their stay at a hostel. Consider a student who has a controlling personality living with the roommate who has a humble personality. Over a period, the dominating student realizes that his roommate has an admirable personality and decides to become like the latter. That student makes conscious efforts to change his way of thinking and speaking, and even his behavior and mannerisms. He creates a sanskar of humility. When his sanskar start changing, his personality also starts changing for good. Personality in action manifests your destiny. We are actors performing in the drama of life, and this world is like an enormous stage. The personality of the actor will reflect in every role and scene. We have seen that our personality is a collection of our thoughts, words, attitude, actions, behaviors, habits, and sanskars. Our personality stays with us constantly, whether we are at home, at work, at a social gathering, or at a spiritual organization. It radiates energy from us to the world at every moment. As is the energy we send out, so will be the energy we receive. Our every thought, word, and behavior is the energy we create and send out. That is our karma. According to the law of karma, the energy we receive in return as a consequence is our destiny. As is our karma, so will be the consequences of the karma. Remember this. Your every thought is a karma that influences your destiny. Your every word is a karma that influences your destiny. Your every behavior is a karma that influences your destiny. Be the captain of your ship. If life is comparable to a voyage, we are the captains of our ships. On some days, sailing towards our goal is smooth. On other days, we need to battle rough storms or the turbulent winds of challenges. As skillful captains, we need to use our resources of pure intentions, energizing thoughts, and empowering words to keep our ships afloat and steer them to safety. Ultimately, your destiny depends only on your thoughts. Thank you. Om Shanti.